And you talk about a lineup of powerful bodybuilders, great bodybuilders, Rory Leidelmeyer, Bob Perry, Mike Christian, Rich Gaspari, Matt Mendenhall. You're going in as the favorite.
I was also coaching 6 other guys for that contest. So not only was I getting ready, I was getting 6 other competitors ready for that show. So people don't know that. I trained Bobby, Jesse Lujan, Scott Livingstone, Barry Clothier, John Arnita. These guys were all getting ready for the show. But I also had to get ready. But I always made sure that as a coach, I was making sure they were at their best.
I asked Alexa who should have won the 1983 NPC Bodybuilding Nationals between Rory Leidelmeyer and Bob Paris. And answered that was a very controversial decision and went way down to the wire. And it was a question of Paris's aesthetic physique versus Rory's much more muscular physique. Something of those words. Even Alexa knew how that sucker went down to the wire. And when I went to the Astros the week after, I never told you this, you looked numb when you lost that narrow decision. You were in a state of shock that you didn't win that show. A lot of people were in a state of shock. I looked at you in there and I said, this really took a toll on Rory, man. It kind of grabbed his soul right out of his chest to lose that 2-point decision. And the sad thing was, Rory, bodybuilding years ago incorporated a new rule where the top 2 in every class turned pro. So there shouldn't even have been a problem. You and Bob should have both got the pro card 40 years ago, and there wouldn't even have been a question about that show. That 83 Nationals took the heart out of Rory Leidelmeyer. He's not the same.
Yes, it did. Right, Lonnie?
Something was pulled out of your soul because it was such a devastating knowing, and when reality sets in, makes it 10 times worse.
I felt betrayed. I just felt like I was crucified. In 83, you're right, I was numb. Matter of fact, how numb was I? I put the trophy down somewhere. That night, I walked back into the family room for a second, and I tripped, and I stepped on the trophy that went through my foot. And I went, really? I got to bleed over this trophy?
This guy was working in the gym, and he was so upset with the loss that he threw down a trophy. It was a trophy that was in the gym. And he says, I wanted to be a bodybuilder, but when that man loses a contest, there's no hope for me to go into bodybuilding because there's no way in the world that physique should lose to anybody else's physique. He was intense. You were 6'2", 225 at the show, 220?
228 pounds.